Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ben Dew. I'm an associate head of school in the School of Humanities, and I'm joined today by Cat de Mey, who is a MA student on our English language teaching and applied linguistics degree. So, hi, Cat, and I've got a series of questions for you. So, the first of those is, why did you choose Coventry University?
Well, I've always had an interest in languages, and I've always wanted to teach English abroad. And this particular course offered a variety of additional qualifications as well as just the degree itself, and also offered a few international exchange opportunities. Although in this year it's been online, but it's still been really good, and I liked getting to have those extra elements to the course. So.
Yeah, that's great. And I suppose that relates to my next question. How did you feel about joining the course during a pandemic? I mean, it's an odd way to start your time as a postgraduate student.
Yeah, well, it was nerve-wracking, of course, just because the pandemic is a nervous kind of time. But in a way, it helped inspire me to sign up because I just graduated from my undergrad and I was kind of unsure what to do with myself in this period of time. And I found this master's course, and I don't want to sit at home doing nothing in lockdown. So I thought, what better way to kind of follow my goals and do the degree? I thought I'd sign up, and I got in, and it's all been great from there.
Great. At the start, how was it? I mean, what do you remember from your very first week of study?
Yeah, so the first week was really good. At that point, it was still blended learning. So part of the lectures were online, part were on campus. But we met the lecturers, we met each other, got to know one another, and the expectations were set on what to expect for the upcoming semester and upcoming year.
Yeah, and did you go straight into teaching immediately, or was there a kind of gap before you had your first sort of?
There was a gap. So semester one, we got the basics, the theoretical foundation, where we'd kind of learned general English and phonetics, grammar, those things, just to make sure we knew the basics before we teach them. And then the second semester is when you split into your speciality in terms of if you want to go the teaching route or the linguistics route. I took the teaching route, and that was a semester where we were more into teaching. So one particular class, we actually got to do a micro teaching, which was a 15-minute class where we just taught one another on Zoom, because online teaching was quite relevant at this point, and it's a new skill, and it was very fun to do that, get to put it into practice. I found that quite important, to get the theory and the practical experience.
Yeah, and I guess it's that combination of things that you need as a language teacher, both being able to have the knowledge and being able to apply it. I mean, that's really interesting. What's been the most surprising thing that you've learned over the last 12 months?
Well, I was really pleasantly surprised at how it's really got me to be so creative. It's not what I was expecting going on to a postgraduate course. I thought it was purely academic, just research, but I really, with the nature of the course, teaching is a creative subject I've come to learn, and I've really enjoyed getting to use my past experience and come up with ideas and include my own passions into some of the work that I've done. I've really enjoyed I wasn't expecting that, but it was great.
Could you give us an example of how that's worked? Because that's really, I mean, I think that's really important, being able to draw on your creativity in a master's program.
So I think some sense it might not seem as creative. So one assignment was to develop materials for specific purposes, English for specific purposes. And I've come from a allied health background. So what I did is I incorporated my medical knowledge into teaching English for medical purposes. And that kind of, I felt quite creative getting to come up with a class to teach the vocabulary, relating to medical fields. I thought it was quite fun. I felt creative doing that despite the nature of it. Another class that I took was teaching through literature, and that is definitely creative because you could use movies, you could use books, poems, anything really. And one of the classes that I designed for my portfolio was based on Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I got to include my favorite series into one of my assignments. That was good fun.
Yeah, that's super stuff. And I guess you've been mostly learning remotely over the course of your degree because of the circumstances. What's that taught you, do you think?
It's very different to face, but different is not better or worse. I was very much a firm believer in face-to-face only, but I've really enjoyed the online classes. There's different elements that just wouldn't be possible in face-to-face. I found more inclusion of games, gamifying certain elements, which makes it that much more fun. So because you're online, you find different online tools or digital tools to use, such as Kahoot or Quizlet, do secret little competitions, or turn it into a game, which maybe you wouldn't have thought to do in person. There's things like annotating the notes, so the whole class gets to join in together on the screen. You all get to type on see each other's idea instead of kind of one by one waiting to share. You get to all work at the same time. So I've enjoyed the different tools and learning a new platform, if you will.
Yes, I suppose, I mean, in a way, we've now got experience of kind of two different types of teaching. That you've had the the experience of doing the online thing. You had the theory of doing the proper, or I mean, real face-to-face teaching as well. What's been the most enjoyable part of the course?
Well, I've really enjoyed my course mates, my course members. So as well as the content, the people that you're on the course with is fantastic. So everyone in my year, we've got people from many different academic backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, and there are many instances where we do group work, where we get to share our ideas and our experiences together. And I found that incredibly helpful in terms of just expanding what to expect, because you could go and teach anywhere, and because we're from all over the world on our course, we get to get that little insight into different classrooms and points of view as a learner and as a teacher, and you make new friends along the way, and that's the best part for me.
Yeah. That's super. Yeah, it must be nice drawing on the sort of a community of different people from different places, as you say. So that's your course mates. What about the people who've been teaching you? If you had to describe this is a trickier question maybe. If you had to describe your course team in 3 words, what would you say?
Friendly, supportive, knowledgeable. I go on, but I've only got 3 words. So.
Very good. And I guess two final questions. Looking back on what you've been doing, what advice would you give yourself if you could speak to yourself now, as you were in your first semester? What would you tell yourself?
Well, I was really nervous going into this master's because I'd had no teaching background coming in, so it was a completely new subject to me. So I would say that even without a teaching background, you can absolutely do it. You can still thrive. It'll be an amazing adventure. It's just go for it.
Yeah, and I suppose talking of amazing adventures, what's next for you? What are your ambitions?
Yeah, so firstly, graduation, that's the top of the list. But after that, I really hope to use what I've learned to go and teach abroad. I'd love to use the opportunity to travel and do something that I can contribute to while I'm doing so. I think that's really a way that I can teach and live somewhere new and offer something back, hopefully. So yeah, I'd love to travel and teach. And
Are there any dream destinations that you've got in mind, in particular?
Particularly Japan for now. That's
Okay.
always been my passion to go there, but anywhere around the Asian continent. There's so many places to see in so little time. So
Go for it. Okay. Thank you very much for that, and thank you everyone for watching. So you've been listening to Cat de Mey, who's a MA student on our English language teaching and applied linguistics degree. That's it. I say thanks very much. Bye.
Thank you very much.